All right, yo. All right, so I want to get into this quick overview of what I've done with the LushPacc V10. Hopefully it's quick, of course. All right, so first off, I completely blanked out on Mojang adding all these new plants and flowers. The new cherry blossom sapling, the new mangrove sapling, and the new torch flower, which they look very awesome. No, not this sapling. This sapling looks lame. But these two look, oh my god. Damn. So I'm always behind a few versions and I just completely blanked out on these new plants. So yeah, I gave them a new fancy dandy flower pot. Keep it consistent with the rest of the lineup, you know? So yeah, and I do want to get into that a little later because this looks awkward. This new decorated pot, my god, yeah. Yeah, I'll get into that a little later. All right, so on to the next thing. I've also changed how the azaleas appear. I changed the look of the flowers on the flowering azalea leaves, flowering azalea, and its potted version. The old flowers look very bougie and silly and, might I even say, inappropriate. They literally look like someone got a twisty purple nurple. I like doing 3D modeling and stuff in Minecraft, but not everything needs 3D modeling. Sometimes just the 2D flat textures work the best. So I still made them pop, of course. I think they look way better than the old version. I mean, look at these new flowers. They feel more, you know, petally and flowery. I feel like it's just much smoother. These definitely look a lot better. The change to the flowers on the azalea leaves resembles the original flowers of the vanilla default Minecraft texture. This is definitely improvement because those old ones look a little silly. I also made a slight change to the azalea and flowering azalea. I gave them fake shading to help them match more with the azalea leaves. Before they would almost look like a glowy appearance and they would stick out like a sore thumb. I think this makes them look a lot more natural in the scenery. So yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. And what's next? Oh yeah, the optimized amethyst models. Let me get through these. Ignore these crop. Either I'm gonna like add this into the LushPacc, which nah, I've been thinking about it. I probably won't. I'm gonna do a separate 3D crop texture pack. Ignore those. These are the same amethyst models. I didn't change them. I just optimized them. Made their file sizes more smaller, used less elements. And of course, if you're curious, this is how much the files have changed from the previous texture pack. And if you're ever curious about like the update logs and whatever, you can check it, of course, in Planet Minecraft, or you can check on the README little file when entering my texture pack. By the way, of course, keep a lookout on this new 3D crops texture pack. Look at that. Of course, these textures aren't finalized, so yeah, I know it looks like a checkerboard. Hopefully I release this by the time I release that, hopefully I have the flower pack out, because I've been working on that thing for a while. Sometimes it's really difficult finding the motivation for the things you want to do. Alright, so on to the next, the berry bush. The sweet berry bush. I just broke that. I gave it a fantastic model on this sweet berry bush. Look at it. That's the baby form. It grows some berries, and it grows a lot of berries. This is I really like this. Come on, look. Of course, there's something wrong with the old sweet berry bush, but I just think this just gives it some more pizzazz. So I think it's really cool. I'm really loving how it turned out. I think it looks pretty cool. All right, so on to the last thing, the hanging pots. So if you know about the hanging pots, when my flower pot is touching nothing, hanging pot texture activates. This is fantastic for decoration. I love it. It looks really cool. Now, this is a concern I want to note. The newly decorated pot creates an issue with my 3D flower pots. Besides looking awkward when my flower pot is placed on the top of the decorated pot, look at that. That thing does not align. What is going on here? And it's not my fault. It's actually Mojang's fault. The decorated pot is actually not it's not aligned perfectly. If you look closely, there are imperfections with the modeling of the decorated pot. So that's why my flower pot looks weird. It doesn't align perfectly because the decorated pot is all crooked. I don't know why they did that. I don't like that. If they could fix that, it'd make my flower pot match. And unfortunately, I can't fix that. You see, Mojang made the decorated pot into an entity. It's not actually a block, it's an entity. Now, here's the thing with entities. You can't alter the models for entities. You can alter the models for all kinds of blocks, but not entities. Well, at least you can't do it for vanilla Minecraft. You can alter entity models with Optifine. So I am considering on making like a alternate version, LushPacc Optifine enabled version of this texture pack where I could, you know, just fix that so my flower pot aligns better. Yeah, although I wouldn't really, I don't like that solution to some capacity, because then that means that you need Optifine. Yo there, from the future. So basically, I'm a freaking legend, all right? So what I'm trying to say is I got it fixed. How, you may ask? By playing Mojang at their own game. So basically, if the big decorated pot is gonna be so weirdly modeled, then so is my flower pot, alright? I shrunk the flower pot just a little bit, allowing it to fit just right into the decorated pot. Look at it. Look at it now. Look at it. Look at that. It fits. It no longer looks all weird and all that. By the way, if you earlier in the video, you could have seen that the decorated pot looked a lot much redder, and that was because I was trying to hide how horrible it looked by making the decorated pot just a little bit redder. But no, I don't have to use that weird trickery anymore, because now the flower pot just looks a lot better just by itself. So yeah, I made the flower pot just slightly smaller. The little cubes on the flower pot, they were 1 by 1. Now they're like in decimal points to achieve making them smaller. It was a whole pain working with decimal point elements, but yeah, I got it put together. It now fits inside the decorated pot, so it looks a lot cooler. Yeah, I'm very happy that I found this solution, because now it looks a lot better inside the decorated pot. Here I have some decorated pots. Look at this, look at this, look at that, look at that. Finally. Oh my god. So the other thing I want to talk about, the chains. As you see, the chains aren't here anymore. The chain mechanic. So the hanging pot mechanic, I'm removing it. So if you're curious with how the chain mechanic works, it works by using Minecraft's culling. Culling basically just saves performance, makes the game run smoother. Basically, it just doesn't render things that don't have to be rendered. So for example, the layers and layers of dirt and stone below our feet, we obviously don't see them, so they're just not being rendered. Basically, makes the game run smoother by not rendering pointless things. So I conveniently use this mechanic to my advantage. By having the flower pot sit on a block, I can have the chain texture disappear. And then once it's no longer sitting on a block, it's floating in the air, chain texture activates. It's being completely rendered now. But unfortunately, this doesn't work on everything. It doesn't work on glass, doesn't work on leaves, doesn't work on scaffolding, doesn't work on azaleas. And the biggest culprit of all, it doesn't work on decorated pots. I have this possible solution where maybe I can use Optifine and use connected textures to like perfect this thing, this feature. But I won't know until then. I've never worked with like Optifine connected textures and whatever. So I won't know. I don't know when I'm gonna know. But right now I don't know. But for the meantime, I'm removing the hanging pot feature. All right. So now we just have these cool, beautiful modeled flower pots without the hanging mechanic. If you're still curious, or if you really want those hanging flower pots though, I still got you covered though. All right, because like I love those hanging flower pots too. So I uploaded a separate texture pack called YoJos hanging flower pots. I'll link it down below. Basically, hanging flower pots are back, but they're in their separate texture pack. I don't want to have them in the LushPacc. It doesn't meet my standards. Maybe one day I can get it working, but for the meantime, I'm removing the hanging flower pot mechanic. So now we just have these cool flower pots, and they just look so cool. So please check out my... Oh, I broke a flower pot. Please check out the texture pack on Planet Minecraft. Link it down below. So yeah, YoJos-LushPacc version 10. All right, so see you, bye.